Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe because today we have some really exciting news, especially if you are a retiree, a future retiree, or simply someone who's keeping an eye on economic developments. After much anticipation, the Government Employees Pension Fund, better known as the GEPF, has officially revealed their latest pension hike, and let me tell you, it's turning quite a few heads. For millions of South Africans relying on these payouts, this announcement could not have come at a more important time. We are going to break it all down for you: what the new payouts are, what it means for retirees across the country, and how this change fits into the broader economic context we are all living through. So, let's dive right into it. The GEPF, which is the largest pension fund in Africa and one of the biggest in the world in terms of assets, has officially announced an increase of 5.5% in pension payouts for the 2025 financial year. This move comes at a critical moment as retirees have been grappling with the soaring cost of living, rising food prices, fuel hikes, and a general sense of economic uncertainty. Now, while a 5% increase might not seem astronomical at first glance, when you factor in the size of the GEPF and the number of retirees affected, it becomes clear that this is a significant financial move that could have wide-ranging impacts. According to the GEPF's official statement, the 5.5% hike is based on the latest inflation data, as well as recommendations from actuaries and financial experts who carefully weighed the fund's investment performance and long-term sustainability. For context, the Consumer Price Index, which is the official measure of inflation in South Africa, has hovered around 5.4% recently. So, the pension increase is very much in line with inflation, which is great news because it means that retirees will at least maintain their current purchasing power, rather than seeing their savings and monthly incomes eroded over time. Breaking it down even further, what does a 5.5% increase actually mean in rand terms? Well, let's say you're a retiree who was receiving a pension of 10,000 per month. With the new adjustment, you'll now be receiving 10,550 per month. Over a year, that's an extra 6,600 added to your pension income, not a small amount by any means, especially when you consider the rising costs of essentials like electricity, food, and healthcare. For many pensioners who operate on very tight budgets, every extra rand matters, and this adjustment could provide some much-needed breathing room. Now, this increase also speaks volumes about the GEPF's financial health. Despite the economic pressures of the last few years, we're talking about the COVID-19 pandemic, subsequent lockdowns, market volatility, and global supply chain disruptions, the GEPF has managed to maintain strong investment returns and remains in a very healthy funding position. According to the most recent financial reports, the fund's assets are well over 2.3 trillion. This means that not only are they able to meet current obligations to pensioners, but they're also in a good position to ensure sustainability for future retirees. It's an important point because confidence in the long-term viability of the GEPF is critical, both for current pensioners and for younger government employees who are contributing today with the hope of secure retirements decades down the line. The announcement of the pension hike has been largely welcomed by retirees groups and unions representing public sector workers. Many praise the GEPF for being responsive to the economic pressures facing retirees. In statements released shortly after the announcement, several retiree advocacy groups emphasized that while the 5% increase isn't going to make retirees rich overnight, it does demonstrate that the GEPF is committed to ensuring that pensioners aren't left behind as the cost of living rises. Some also pointed out that the increase could have been even higher, considering the rising rates of medical inflation and the unique pressures facing the elderly, but acknowledged that maintaining the long-term sustainability of the fund must be a priority. Now, you might be wondering, when exactly does this increase come into effect? According to the GEPF, the new payouts will start reflecting from the 1st of April 2025. So retirees don't have to wait long before they start seeing the difference in their bank accounts. It's important for pensioners to carefully check their bank statements around that time and to report any discrepancies immediately to their pension administrators to ensure that the adjustments have been properly applied. Another interesting point to consider is how the GEPF compares to private pension funds and other retirement schemes in South Africa. Many private retirement annuities and provident funds have struggled to keep up with inflation over the past few years, often offering lower annual increases or, in some cases, none at all. Against that backdrop, the GEPF's 5.5% hike looks even more impressive. It reflects not just good fund management but also a broader commitment to social security for public servants who have given decades of their lives in service to the nation. However, it's not all smooth sailing. Some analysts have pointed out that while the 5.5% increase matches inflation today, inflation trends can be volatile. If inflation spikes unexpectedly due to global or local economic shocks, then retirees might once again find themselves under pressure. It's a reminder that pension increases, while important, are just one part of a larger financial picture that retirees have to navigate. Proper financial planning, careful budgeting, and, where possible, supplementary sources of income remain critical. In addition to the pension hike, the GEPF also announced some important administrative updates that retirees need to be aware of. They are working to streamline the process for updating personal information, such as banking details and contact addresses, to prevent payment delays. They're also encouraging pensioners to make use of the fund's mobile app and online portal, which have both been improved to provide quicker, more efficient service. This is a great move, especially given how frustrating administrative backlogs can be for retirees who depend on their pensions for daily living expenses. There's also an important discussion to have around the broader economic impact of the pension hike. When millions of pensioners receive higher payouts, it increases consumer spending at the grassroots level. Retirees use their pensions to pay for groceries, rent, healthcare, transportation, and even to support extended family members. So, when pensions are increased, it's not just the retirees who benefit, the entire economy gets a small but meaningful boost. Especially in rural areas and smaller towns where economic opportunities can be scarce, pensioner spending can be a major driver of local commerce. Moreover, pensioners often spend their income more locally than other demographics, meaning the impact is very direct. Small businesses, local healthcare providers, and even informal traders see a benefit. It's another reason why pension increases should be viewed not just through the lens of individual financial security but also as a broader economic stimulus tool. Still, there are challenges on the horizon. The broader South African economy continues to face headwinds, including load shedding, sluggish growth, and fiscal pressures on the national budget. While the GEPF is a separate entity and is not directly funded by government tax revenue, the overall economic environment inevitably influences investment returns and the financial health of the fund. The GEPF's investment strategy, which includes a diversified portfolio of equities, bonds, property, and international assets, is designed to mitigate risk, but market volatility remains a concern. Retirees and future retirees should continue to monitor updates from the GEPF carefully. Another noteworthy point is that the GEPF emphasized its commitment to responsible investment practices. There are increasing investments in sectors like renewable energy, infrastructure, and healthcare, areas that not only offer strong long-term returns but also contribute to broader national development goals. It's encouraging to see that the fund is thinking strategically about both financial returns and social impact. These types of investments could help ensure strong fund performance even in a changing global economy, which bodes well for the sustainability of future pension hikes. There's also been some discussion in the media about whether the GEPF could do even more for pensioners, especially those at the lower end of the payout scale. Some retiree groups have called for a tiered system where lower-income pensioners receive slightly higher percentage increases than wealthier retirees, to better address inequality among pensioners. While no such system has been introduced yet, it's an interesting idea and something that could be explored in future pension policy discussions. Overall, the mood among retirees following the announcement has been cautiously optimistic. Many understand the balancing act that the GEPF must perform, providing meaningful increases while safeguarding the long-term sustainability of the fund. For now, the 5.5% increase is being seen as a positive step, a signal that pensioners' concerns are being heard and that their well-being remains a priority. It's also important to mention that the GEPF has committed to continuing annual reviews of pension increases, meaning that adjustments are not a once-off event but an ongoing process that takes into account changes in the economy, inflation, and investment performance. This dynamic approach helps ensure that retirees don't fall behind over the long term and can plan their finances with a bit more certainty. For those of you who are planning your retirement or are in the early stages of receiving your pension, it's a good idea to stay informed about these updates and to regularly consult with financial advisors or pension counselors. Understanding how your pension works, how increases are determined, and what you can expect in different economic scenarios can make a huge difference in your retirement planning and peace of mind. Before we wrap up, it's worth noting that the GEPF's performance and the recent pension hike also send an important message internationally. It shows that, even amid global economic challenges, large pension funds can be responsibly managed to deliver for their members. This is not just good news for South African retirees but also a case study that other countries and institutions can learn from. So, there you have it. The GEPF's 5.5% pension increase for 2025 is official, payouts will be adjusted from April, and retirees can expect to see a real difference in their monthly incomes very soon. It's a timely, welcome boost that could not have come at a better time for many who are facing rising living costs. Make sure you share this video with friends or family who might be affected, and leave a comment below letting us know your thoughts. Are you happy with the increase? Do you think it should have been higher? What else would you like to see from the GEPF moving forward? Thanks again for tuning in today. Don't forget to like this video if you found the information helpful, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. We are always bringing you the latest news that affects your life and your wallet. Until next time, take care and stay informed.